let's get into the details of Diddy being taken into federal custody, all the charges, what came out in the bail hearing. No bail, we know that, and everything else. So I'm Jill Munroe. Thanks for joining me. Let's get into Diddy. So Diddy was taken into custody on Monday, a day earlier than I guess he was supposed to turn himself in. He had been in New York for 2 weeks. You know, we saw video of him walking around, hanging out with old associates. I'm going to be honest. I knew that jail time was coming soon for him because he clearly was looking nervous. There's video of him like looking paranoid around him, like he was expecting someone to swoop down and do something to him. He was visiting old friends. So we could tell that something was about to go down. So he's taken into custody on Monday at his hotel. Authorities found a pink substance that they believe was ecstasy. Sounds like the pink cocaine that Young Miami was rumored to have transported for him. So they took him into custody. The judge said no bail. I don't know if you watched any part of the hearing, the bail hearing, but the word freak off was uttered so many times during that situation. I'm sure you've heard by now, some of the evidence that they found was like 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricant, 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers scratched off and the magazine located. They were, disabled, but a lot going on, and videos of freak offs, people unknowingly being videotaped engaging in these activities. Now, for Diddy's lawyer, who was trying to get bail, they put up $50 million cash bond. Diddy had already surrendered his passport back in, I think, April after the raids took place. His family was surrendering all of their passports, but the judge said, Christian, I believe, and Justin were in the courtroom. The judge said, I appreciate you showing up, but no, can't do it. And basically, Diddy's in a lot of trouble. What his lawyer fired back with, because Cassie's video, the one that we saw leaked back in March, which I'm going to be honest, feels a lot like the feds may have leaked that video, because Diddy certainly didn't leak it. He had it in possession all of that time. I don't know. Seems suspect to me. But the video was mentioned as evidence. Diddy's lawyer countered back without saying Cassie's name. Basically, we know now that Cassie is one of the federal witnesses, that they had a volatile relationship where they cheated on each other. He alluded to the fact that Cassie had been cheating with her now husband, who was a trainer, Alex Fine, for a long time during their relationship. Their relationship was toxic. Cassie had hit Diddy. He's alleging Cassie had hit Diddy in the head with a cell phone after finding some text messages, grabbed his clothes and ran out the room. He alluded to the idea that there might have been an additional person in the room. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong and mistaken one of the other situations with that one. But that's how he tried to briefly explain the heated situation. That's how we'll refer to it, because that's how he referred to it. That happened of the video that we all saw, that even if all of that happened before, it did not warrant what Puff did after. What else was in? I read the deposition. It's a lot. Let me tell you what he's been charged with: racketeering, which carries up to 20 years, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, mandatory minimum of 15 years, maximum life sentence, transportation to engage in prostitution, up to 20 years, kidnapping, up to life, forced labor, up to 20 years, obstruction of justice, 10 years. If he is convicted of all of these charges, he is facing multiple decades, possibly life in prison for the rest of his existence. So the U.S. Attorney General is Damian Williams, and he said that they will show proof of Diddy's freak-offs during the trial. What you should know about the Southern District of New York is that they are not one of the one of the courts that allows cameras in it. So we will have to rely on court reporters for the testimony. That's when you see some of those crazy sketches that you may have seen in the past. That's what we'll be getting from this trial when it happens. It's a long way down the line. I think that they have set a conference, a pre-trial conference for September 25th, which is next week, but I don't expect this trial to move quickly. Damian Williams also mentioned that there are others that allow Diddy to function in this fashion, co-conspirators, so they're expecting more charges. I know a lot of people are expecting explosive names in that, and some of them might be to you, but I don't believe that we're going to see the type of names that people are expecting with, celebrities or things like that. There might be some executives, security guards for sure, assistants, those that were booking flights, hotels, etc. I know they're probably nervous right now and calling their lawyer. Damian Williams also revealed that days after Dawn, formerly of Danity Kane and Dirty Money, filed her lawsuit, Diddy phoned group member Kalina 54 times in one day. Now, if you weren't aware, she put out a statement, assumingly on the same day or shortly around this time period, giving sort of a neutral stance. And now we know why. Allegedly. The indictment charges bribery and obstruction of justice. He talked about, Damian Williams once again, Diddy bribing whomever was at the Intercontinental Hotel where the incident took place with Cassie. He attempted to bribe a security guard that came to see what the commotion was about. The security guard refused. Later, it was discovered that the video had been wiped from the hotel servers, and we now know found amongst other videos and audio recordings in Diddy's safe during the raids. So, it is a lot happening. A lot. The government has spoken to over 50 witnesses. They said that they are still looking for people to talk to, so that if people have information, they should reach out. They are trying to lock Diddy down. It should also be noted that this isn't the first time that Diddy is tangled with courts in New York. We know he's had several cases in the past that he's managed to sidestep and beat. So there could be an element of a bit of personal justice from that department going. Not saying that the information that they have is unwarranted, just saying that could be an added issue. They said that they have sworn warrants out for iCloud accounts, various other cloud accounts. They have yielded 90 cell phones and 30 other devices that include a surveillance system. They said the freak-offs are cooperated with this, with all of this evidence. So they have a lot on their plate that they're planning to present. Listen, it isn't lost on me that Suge Knight is in jail, Diddy now in jail. We know that Irv Gotti spent some time in jail being charged. I can't remember what specifically happened with that case, but all of these 90s icons that defined an era as far as music and culture and style are being taken down. And when you look at it, it's ego. It's ego. Why would you ever want to treat people as such? Like, I believe Diddy got carried away. 2008 is where this case sort of starts referencing. So, no, we probably won't see any J-Lo appearances or J-Lo on the witness list, but you never know. But that is the time period that they're focusing on, when Bad Boy wasn't the place to be anymore. He did have his liquor brands and so forth, but they are alleging that he definitely used his entire Combs enterprise to hold people down, put them in these positions. We know, of course, there were both male and female sex workers that are listed as being involved in all of this situation. And, It's a choice. It's a choice. And Diddy could have stopped so long ago. You know, we know, well, we don't know, but it is looking as if some of what is happening, he is going to blame on addiction, a drug addiction. There were several drugs that are mentioned as part of the evidence that were alleged to have been used to keep people drugged up when they came to these freak offs, Diddy's parties. I've never, listen, there's a point when you know to go home. Maybe some don't, but that's why you're not supposed to close the party down. That's a side note. But allegedly, they're saying that Diddy kept all of the people there very drugged up. There were drugs in great amounts, MDMA, ketamine, a bunch of others in place, and that he, following the freak offs, which could last days and days, they would get the IV hydration situations. And of course, all types of videos are popping up as people go back and look over things and re-examine videos and moments. There's a video of Diddy and his mom chilling, both getting IVs. There are some instances, there's a video with Travis Scott that people are alleging that Travis knew what the play was. I can't remember exactly what Diddy said to him, but Travis kind of twists and runs away, takes off. You know, we've been hearing for years that certain people, 50 Cent among the loudest, we know he is dropping his, I'm not sure if it's called Surviving Diddy really, but essentially what it is with Netflix soon. So of course, he had a lot to say about this. But it's really sad because Bad Boy and the 90s and Biggie, Total, 112, Faith, everything that it represented is now going down in flames, crumbling because of one man's ego. So things are happening daily. I know that there's been is it an announcement? Yeah, an announcement that Diddy's lawyer is going to obviously appeal the bail decision. And in that, he plans to ask that, hey, Shannon, thanks for joining. He plans to appeal the decision, have Diddy in his Miami home, basically on house arrest, no female visitors allowed, a daily log of all of his visitors. I suspect it's going to be denied again. This court has a history of denying high profile individuals bail, especially in cases as such. We know this is the same court where Epstein and others were housed. So that's it for now. Of course, every day there's more information flowing out. Every day there are more details. So I'm going to be sure to keep you tapped in and let me know what's a good time for me to stream. Shannon Thompson says Diddy ain't worried about the women. He might have been. I mean, he had the pink cocaine. No telling if he had some lady friends visiting him. He did think that he had at least one more night before he had to turn himself in. I will say kudos for Diddy not having to do the perp walk, but man, I think Diddy is a wrap. I think that we all know with as far as Fed cases go, it's a 95%, maybe more conviction rate, and they don't look like they want to let him go. So we'll have to see what happens. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Leave anything you want to add in the comments. Leave a time that you'd like for me to stream. I appreciate that too. And I will tap in with you guys later.